Okay, I'll try to show you a few practical things. This is a project I have been working on. Now there's where the needle is. You can see where the needle is located. On the quilt, the needle is in fact right here at the end point of this repeat in the outer border. So what I will do is I'm going to relocate. I'm going to shift all. So I'm just going to go down here and right click and select relocate, shift all to one point. What point do I want to use? I want to use that point right there. So I'll click it. So I have InSnap turned on. Click that, click yes. Now everything on the screen is located around this point. Here's what I want you to see. Every time I change from one boundary to another, see I have 3 boundaries here, and I'm going to have to do a relocate each time. So what I'm going to do now is do a boundary, then I'll come back. Everything has been relocated around that point. I have drawn in a boundary. Now will quilt my next area of these border patterns, and hopefully these will all fit. If not, I'll divide it and take one out. So what am I going to do? I'm going to relocate, shift selected, shift selected to one point. I want to move this point to the location where the needle is. So it's snap to it. I'll left click, click yes, and there it is right in place. All I need to do is zoom in and look at it, and yes, it looks like it is very well connected. I'm going to change my anchors to end anchors, turn off the end snap just by pressing the E key. I want to move this over in the boundary a little better, like that. Now I am ready to stitch this border pattern. I have got this in position, adjusted it, but now notice it wants to sew from the bottom up towards the top, but I don't want it to do that. Right click, reverse start and end. There it is. Okay, what I want you to see is I have deleted this boundary. I've stitched that. Remember, I did a relocate. I stitched out this next area here. I did a relocate around that point right there. And I have moved the machine so that the needle is at the end point of this repeat in this boundary pattern right here, and I have drawn a new boundary. So here's what I want you to caution you about. You have to do a relocate and shift all to one point every time that you move to a different pattern in these boundaries, because I guarantee you it's not going to stay the same. So what I'm going to do here, I have this selected. I'll right click, I'll relocate, shift all to one point. Okay, what point do I want to use? I want to use that point right there. I want to shift everything around that point. So I'll just click that, click yes. Now we have everything located right around that point. And I will do some checking before I stitch. So what pattern am I going to use? I'm going to use this little diamond pattern. I will put some of this in there. Maybe I can stitch all of this. I think I can. So I need to toggle it as unsewn. Then, since I have this selected, I will do a relocate, shift selected to one point. What I want to move is I want to move this group of patterns over where the needle is located. So I will click there, then I will click yes, and there they are. They're in the correct position. What needs to be done is it needs to be adjusted. Turn off that end snap, because if I leave it on, it's going to cause me a problem. Turn it off. I'm going to move it over like this into that boundary, and before I do any stitching, I will, in fact, do some checking. So that's how you have to deal with this type of situation. You have to check and do a relocate. Okay, this one is not that far off, but I'm going to do another relocate. Shift all to one point. Go over here. I'm just going to right click on this, relocate, shift all to one point. This is my point. Turn on my end snap. Click that. Yes. Everything now is relocated around this point right there. So I will do my boundary, and I will move my patterns. I think I'll move my patterns first. I've got to move this pattern down and reconnect it with the other patterns. Change this. Bring it down here. And I will go and get my end anchors. Have end snap. I'm going to snap that to there. Come on, give me end anchors. Okay, I'm ready to do that. I'm going to have to get my next area. I don't know how many of these I can stitch, but probably 2, 3, 4, 5, probably at least 5. Okay, I have those selected, and I will right click, relocate, shift selected to one point. I want to move this point to where the needle is located. Click yes, and there they are. I think I probably will be able to quilt at least one more, and I'll do that here shortly. I'm going to toggle these as unsewn. Okay, I'm going to go and do my boundary. All of this has been adjusted. They're in position, and I'm ready to stitch out this group of border patterns. Okay, I'm all finished with these 3 borders, and I'll continue quilting on this, and I'll continue to show you how I have to keep doing relocate, shift all to one point, or relocate, shift selected to one point. It's a process that you have to continually go through, and it all depends on how precise you want your quilting to be. So I'll close this video and do another one when I continue quilting.